I've been really lucky to work with some incredible brands and incredible people and talent, over the course of the last 20-year career. I really was first introduced to crypto and Web3 during COVID. At the time, I was on the agency side. We had a line of fintech, crypto, Web3 brands coming to us, asking us to make them relevant, asking them to introduce us to the mainstream. And it was all about that overnight success. And honestly, it was at that moment, my curiosity peaked. I started diving into the industry, understanding the ethos, understanding the philosophy, understanding more about the technology and the potential of the use cases of it. I think COVID made us all question our positions and what we wanted to do and what we wanted to affect. It was, a crossroads for many people. So I had an incredible opportunity after working with several brands to enter into the space. And I honestly haven't looked back. It definitely is 24/7. There's lots to be done, but the opportunity and the challenge, it's been probably, I can honestly say, one of the highlights of my professional career to date. And I get to work with incredible people that are truly reimagining what the financial frameworks of the future are going to be. That's not something that everyone gets to do. So the theme of today's, and this week's event is how we get to $1 billion. And I've been asked several times, what's the Binance campaign to deliver this? But we all know that there's no silver bullet. This is going to be a long process. It's going to involve a lot of education. We have an incredible community already that are excellent ambassadors and are really driving home the why and the how and the who in terms of how you engage. But there's so much more that we need to do. I've been really lucky to work with some of the titans of the creative industry over the last 20 years, and they've helped me understand the power of creativity and the power of storytelling in how you help people understand and unlock and digest and demystify what is the benefit, what is the true benefit. So for me, it's going to be critical that as an industry, we double down on education and we double down on celebrating what are the points of pride, what are the reasons why. The technology is an enabler. It's why and how it works is what people need to be engaged with. And I think that's going to be critical in order to bring in new audiences, the new segments, the new businesses, because blockchain goes beyond crypto and trading. It permeates every sector. On the way up here, I met someone who's just launched a hotel app built on blockchain. Yesterday, I was speaking to someone in real estate. We know what it can do. It's transformative in terms of how it can support charity and getting in a relief situation, getting funds to those really in need. So I think this is all going to be critical, that storytelling, and ensuring that we have the right people telling those stories to invite new people in. I'm really lucky in this position that my previous worlds are converging with what is Binance and what is the industry we've been in. We have incredible global brand partnerships. I would say we've got some of the iconic partners, in the industry. In this next period, we have to focus on our community. They're the best conduits and the best platforms for us to tell the stories that I was talking about earlier on. They're the best ways to get clear messaging and understanding it. And they also are the way for us to appeal to different audiences. But additionally, I think it's product. I feel the next battleground is really going to be at UX and UI and how we optimize the user experience. And that's going to be critical for us in order to take what many perceive as a complex technology and help ensure that it's frictionless, it's seamless, that if you're entering in immediately, you're intuitive and know how to do. And I feel that's something that us as an industry are getting good at, but we need to get extraordinary at in order to get to the next stage. I think that what we've seen from the partnerships that we work with is that blockchain technology and the different products allow users engage in a different way with their favorite brands and their trusted brands. I feel what's going to be critical is how we as Web3 companies work with Web2 companies in order to bring them in and help them truly understand not just what the technology is, but how to put it to work to help them improve their users' experiences. We've seen Gucci, we've seen a lot of the luxury brands enter into the space to ensure that they're creating incredible experiences, whether it be from the metaverse, whether it be through their loyalty programs. And I feel there's incredible opportunities that can be unlocked there with more mainstream Web2 brands. And those partnerships and those strategic alliances are going to be critical to us making this an everyday reality. There's a lot of obstacles that exist at the moment to what is global mass adoption of crypto. I think there's a long list we could go into, everything from volatility to user experience. But one of the biggest obstacles is the perceived lack of regulation. And while it's coming, it's not coming fast enough. So us as Binance, we're in the privileged position of being one of the most compliant, one of the most regulated exchanges. We have 18 licenses and growing. For us, what that brings is massive obligation, because that ensures that we have I have a 200 strong marketing team. I would say half of them have to be experts in legal and compliance to understand that we're delivering messages in the right way, in a secure and safe way. And that's going to be critical in order to bring those users on board who may be concerned, maybe have read the miseducation, don't understand what the true value of blockchain and crypto is. So that's, regulation is critical for us to get to mass adoption. It's a reality that I think as an industry, a lot of us are embracing, and it will be what helps us ultimately get to those billion users that we've been talking about so much over the last couple of days. I've always worked in industries that are fast-paced. And when you're on the agency side, you work 24/7. It's 7 days a week. What I've been so overwhelmed and impressed by is the hardcore nature of the individuals that I've gotten to work with in the Web3 space. It's passion that I have not seen in any other industry. They're here because they know we have the power to unlock incredible change with these technologies. And I think that permeates our entire organization and a lot of the community. I think one amazing example of that is the Binance Angels. This is a 500 strong group of people that we're very privileged to have at Binance that give us their free time to help educate more people and help people understand what is this industry, how they can get involved. That's extraordinary. That doesn't exist. They do this out of free will. And I think that's something that is commendable, and we need more of that passion overall in the world in order to affect change. But hardcore, 24/7, no other industry can even beat us at that. I worked in Web2 for 20 years, and it's the basis and the foundations of my career. I actually was in the industry when it was still Web1, so I'm showing my age here. I think for those that want to enter into this space, you have to be ready to get deeply involved. I mentioned earlier, this is a 24/7 fast-paced industry. If you don't have passion and purpose and a true need to affect change, this is not the industry for you. But this is the industry for you if you want to be able to realize big initiatives, big opportunities quickly. And if you want to work with a very passionate, mission-driven group of people and a community that is unparalleled, I implore you to get involved. I think it's not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of work, but I know a lot of people in Web2 that are absolutely brilliant and hardworking. I think there's a lot that people who come from a more Web2 background can bring to the table. It's a different skill set, and it's going to be the convergence of Web2 and Web3 that makes this the mainstream reality that we want this industry to be. I think there's a lot that people that are working in Web3 and have started their career in Web3 could learn from those who come from Web2. It's not always perfect, but I think that in the Web2 side, there is a methodology and a strategy and a rigor that is applied to how projects are brought to life and how projects are tested and realized. I'm not saying we need to slow down in Web3, I'm saying quite the opposite. I think it's learning from the mistakes that we made in Web2 and ensuring that we don't make the same mistakes in Web3 is going to be critical to how we move forward. There's a wealth of information. I sometimes think we can think that's redundant, But let's be honest, mistakes are similar in both areas. And I think there's a lot we can take from how they've approached problem solving and how they've applied that to, create solutions for what are the needs.